story of Couran Cove residents in Queensland. This is a nightmare. This is the island community cut off from essential services over an ugly body corporate pay dispute. Residents like Rhonda.
We've had our services cut for the last 7, almost 8 weeks.
Since then, more locals have come forward and shared their stories as more homes become impacted by the shutdown, taking the total number to more than 120.
A very eerie feeling. It's like a bit of a ghost town. Of course, most people that have chosen to not have to suffer through this have left.
So, yesterday we spoke with the Director of Services for the region, the man ultimately responsible for cutting the supply.
Unfortunately, we're in a situation where owners have been paying those levies, but those levies have not been passed on, and they've been diverted by the body corporates.
All right, so what is said to have occurred? At the core of the issue is $25 million in alleged unpaid fees, money used to get power and water supply. In one corner, you have the Director of Services, while in the other is the body corporate, which is made up of several entities. According to the Director of Services, instead of receiving what he claims he's owed, the money was instead used by the body corporate elsewhere, including legal battles. But the body corporate now says that is not the case.
Be forgiven for being a bit confused, leaving the residents who have forked out tens of thousands in body corporate charges stuck in the middle with no resolution in sight. We're joined now by Chairman of Eco Body Corporate, Ernie Johnson. Ernie, can you tell us, are body corporates diverting fees instead of paying service providers?
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Carl. Absolutely not. The fundamental problem that we have is that 99% of the outstanding levies are owed by two entities, Simon Napoli and to a larger extent a gentleman by the name of Lachlan McIntosh. Put simply, if they pay the levies that they owe, not only to Eco but to the other body corporates as well, if they pay those levies, then we could pay the levies to the CBC and the CBC could pay the levies to the service provider. But the extension of the problem is that Mr. McIntosh and Mr. Napoli control the CBC. So we've got a bizarre situation where the service provider, Mr. Napoli, can put up charges to the CBC for the provision of caretaking and services at whatever rate he wants to. And then the CBC that he controls, together with Mr. McIntosh, just rubber stamp it and send it on to the body corporate. So the first point you make is that 25 million, that's a very contentious figure that we don't believe. But the fundamental problem is they owe levies. And we're in a situation there where when you pay levies, you pay them on a thing called lot entitlement. So if you own a house, you pay 5 lot entitlements. At Couran Cove, we've got 3,228, I think it is, lot entitlements, and levies are divided by all of that. Our CBC is controlled by the two entities that only pay 2% of the lot entitlements. So the rest of us are not having a voice in that.
Okay, so essentially, I mean, he said yesterday on the program you're diverting money. So you're not diverting money that is owed to him to pay for legal bills in order to resolve this dispute. Can you just...
Let me explain.
Yeah,
if I could explain that. Yesterday, Mr. Napoli said that last year we received $1 million in levies from owners. That's not true. The accounting systems that the body corporates use is based on an accrual system, which fundamentally means that when they raise the invoices for $1 million, but because Mr. Napoli and Mr. McIntosh don't pay their levies, we're only receiving $600,000, in fact $639,000 a year. Now we have to pay insurances, we've got to pay for the maintenance of the common property, we have to pay the body corporate managers, we've got to pay all sorts of things, and we are supposed to pay levies for the water and all the rest of it. If Mr. McIntosh and Mr. Napoli paid their levies, that would be $400,000 for a start that would go over there. And yes, we do have a substantial legal fee of about, last year I think it was maybe $200,000, I stand to be corrected on that, that we had to pay on legal fees. But if we don't pay our legal fees, we're in a bigger mess, because a funny situation is that, not funny, it's serious, is that we're confronted with a problem where the CBC are suing ECO for the non-payment of levies to the CBC, which effectively means that we have to pay our own legal fees and the body corporate's legal fees to sue us.
Ernie, my head is hurting, and I don't even live there. But at the end of the day, this needs to be sorted. How is it going to get sorted? Who's going to get involved really quickly?
Well, the government are looking into it. We've been trying for 2 years to get Mr Napoli to the table. We've got a plan that we believe can solve the problem. As late as 2 weeks ago, I tried to talk to him and he just refuses to talk to me. But we do have a plan that can resolve this problem, but he has to come to the table.
Let us get in contact with him. He was on the show yesterday, and let's try and get you in a room. We'll take our cameras along so no hell breaks loose, even though it might. And good on you, Ernie. I really feel genuinely for the residents over there.
Yeah, the owners are the real problem in here. We've got a lot of older people, and
we're on your side.
We haven't even got toilets now.
Yeah,
it's a serious problem.
Terrible. Good on you, Ernie. Thank you.
Thanks, Ernie.
Brookie.
So I have the perfect antidote.